If you're in the market for a family estate, frankly, there's never been so much choice. And while the European offerings are pretty strong, the Toyota Auris Touring Sports Estate isn't one to be immediately dismissed. It's definitely worth considering if you like not only futuristic design, but also futuristic technology, as it's one of the few cars in its class to feature a clever hybrid system, which not only saves money at the pumps, but also road and company car tax too. Let's start with space. After all, that's the main reason anyone goes for an estate over a regular hatchback. It may not be the biggest in its class, but it's not far off. With the rear seats in place, it has 530 litres of boot capacity, but fold down the 60/40 split folding rear seats, and this extends to 1,658 litres. Even the hybrid version doesn't suffer from reduced boot space to make space for batteries. Although the Auris has a large boot, the same can't be said for the rest of the cabin. Tall occupants will struggle in the back for head and legroom, although it does get better in the front. There's a lot of places to store bits and pieces, a good sized glove box, and there are 3 power sockets too, including one in the boot. Dash is off the mark with some of its European competition. It's all very well put together and solid, it's just a bit bland. The multimedia screen isn't overly complicated to use, it's not the most intuitive either, and it does look rather dated. The basic active trim may look attractive price-wise, but that's for a very good reason. Equipment levels are short. We'd recommend going for the Icon spec, which gives you extras like alloy wheels, front fog lamps, reversing camera, touchscreen multimedia system and DAB radio. The engine lineup isn't as comprehensive as some of its European rivals. There are 2 petrol engines on offer, 99 brake horsepower or 1.3 or a 132 brake horsepower 1.6, plus there's a 1.4 litre diesel. But for many, the big draw will be the hybrid. It isn't the quickest in its class and it does feel particularly sluggish. The other issue is that it's not available with a manual gearbox. Instead you get this CVT or continuously variable transmission, which isn't very good, as well as it's noisy and really removes the driver from the whole driving experience. Don't let the word sport in the model name fool you. There really is nothing sporty about the hybrid. Really, it's more geared around comfort and practicality rather than driver enjoyment. The steering feels remote and doesn't have much weight to it, and although the ride is comfortable, it can pitch and lean when going through the twisty stuff. If running costs are important, then the hybrid is the one to go for. It'll average around 76 miles per gallon and emit just 85 grams per kilometre of CO2. That makes it road tax exempt. Realistically though, there are European diesels that will do that. Petrols are probably worth avoiding as they're not especially economical or emission friendly. The 1.6 for example will average mid-40s mile per gallon and emissions of 140 grams per kilometre of CO2. The family estate market is a competitive one and the Auris has the draw of having a hybrid which will attract many buyers. It is economical and running costs are low, plus it has a large boot for practicality. However, it isn't an enjoyable driving experience and the cabin space for passengers is a little disappointing.